Hello everybody, and welcome back to this very short and hopefully a useful video for you. So today I'm going to reply to the #1 request I got on my videos, which is, hey, can you share us some kind of installation instruction? And I shall do so. In the comments you will find the Modpack, which you can import through CKAN into your game and then download all the mods. I've also added some installation instructions which are modeled after how Boke did his installation, and I'm briefly going to run you through what actually happens over there. So in my Promised Worlds installation of KSP, I've got a couple of them. So I've got for all Kerbal kinds. I've got a Mars edition, and I got a stock KSP that runs Promised Worlds, which is probably the one you're interested in. And I keep track of everything I install in a separate folder. However, due to licensing, I won't be able to share that directly. But I'm going to talk you through that because there's different ways for obtaining that information. And as I mentioned, I started out with Boke's excellent install, and you can find it on the internet and on YouTube. Or you can download my installation guide, which is derived from that and has expanded a little bit upon. It contains all the main mods that you can download through CKAN, and also everything that has to do with environmental mods and basically like 99% of all the stuff that we download. The second part is BlackRack, and for BlackRack you need to go on Patreon and support the great man, because he has done some amazing works on all the environmental mods, the scatterer mods, the visual enhancements, and I highly recommend that you spend that €5 to keep him supported and energized to keep releasing all new stuff. Then there's a number of manual log mods, and these are mods you can't download from CKAN for reasons I don't know. In the installation file, I have included links to the forum where you can download all of them. I hope that the links are still functional, because some of them are really old, like Kerbal Cities, and you would really need to clean up also a little bit in that mod by deleting some of the city and elements. And some like terraforming I never got on CKAN, so you can use that. This is a list that keeps evolving over time, so by the time you see this, we're somewhere in episode 30. I presume that there's going to be many more mods by the time we reach the end of the series. And then there's some other stuff that I had present at some point and then removed. So that's part of Kerbal Cities. There's new instances. That's part of the statics that I've used. I don't think you need that. And there's something cool that I still have to share with Angelo from Pathfinder. I turned all his stuff in from the Pathfinder mod into statics. Obviously, I can't release that. That's his prerogative. But I wrote a bit of Python code that actually explores the models and turns them into statics. That's cool. Partially disabled some of the stuff, basically stuff I don't use and is very big. Like the cylinders from the mod, you can see these are all like 50 megabytes. This is a whole lot of stuff for O'Neill cylinders, which I'm not going to use. And I don't want to load. How much is this going to be? Something like 200, 300 megabytes that I'm not going to use. So that's the most important stuff. You will need to look into the Modpack first, then the install instructions. Oh yeah, and there's two special folders that I don't have in the release, but I've described them in the install file. The first one is 00 Chris, and it has all my weird patches that I make and change and work around. For example, making sure that MacJab by default deploys the fairings later, because it keeps deploying them early, and I forget to set that switch by default and then it explodes. Nothing really important, but it does help you when playing the games or having the durability of some of the Kerbal Foundry's wheels up a little bit so they don't break instantly, especially when you scale them. I've described what the config files do. I don't feel comfortable releasing them because they're pretty ugly as they are. maybe at some point in the future. Then we have 00 McLucky, and that has some special models. And same story, these are statics that I've been making and put in the game. I don't think they're really good enough to release yet, but they're pretty neat. And you can see them some parts in the movie. So that's it. I would urge you to go to LimeWire. I'll include the link in the description, and you can find the CKAN file and the mod files there. And I hope that answers all of your questions. And yeah, that's been McLucky. I hope you enjoyed the show, and see you in the next episode.